Welcome to the What's Our Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Javier Ortiz.
What is up, my nerds?
And Ian Anderson.
Some shit.
Do you ever find yourself wondering if you should spend the time, money, or both on a movie? Well, we're here to answer that question for you. Each week we put a movie on trial, discuss the facts, pass judgment, and let you know our verdict. To check out our other episodes, if you're watching this on YouTube, the link's in the description down below. And this is our spoiler-free review. Our deep dive review will be available on Monday, April 5th. You can listen to that wherever fine podcasts are found, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Ghana, just to name a few. And as always, it's completely free. Today we're reviewing Godzilla vs. Kong. It was released March 31st, 2021. It was written by Terry Rossio and Michael Dougherty. It was directed by Adam Wingard. It stars Kaylee Hoddle, Rebecca Hall, Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, Brian Tyree Henry, Isaac Gonzalez, Julian Dennison, and Kyle Chandler. Jesus, that's a long list of names. The epic next chapter in the cinematic monsterverse pits two of the greatest icons in motion picture history against one another, the fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Kong, with humanity caught in the balance. This is your first time joining us. We will rate this movie on a 3-tiered scale. Worth it, meaning you should find a way to watch this movie, stream it, wait until you can watch it for free, and finally skip it, meaning you shouldn't watch it at all. Or with our new way of rating it, not impressed.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. So there's our new 3 scale. That's it. Worth it, stream it, not impressed. So yeah, there it is. Getting changed by the Justice League after all. Who knew? Let's dive into this thing spoiler free. I'll go first. I've been looking forward to this movie since the first Godzilla movie, when they did or maybe it was the Kong Skull Island movie. I don't remember which one, but there was this after credit scene where they showed paintings on the wall and Godzilla and here's Kong, and I was like, oh shit, they're gonna have some epic showdown. And that part of it, absolutely amazing. The visuals of the two fighting and them coming together, just you see snippets of it in the trailer that look great. It looks great every time these guys are on the screen. And then it has this monster cast of pretty unreal names. And I hate the humans in this movie. It's terrible. It's such a weird dichotomy to me that I was like, this is so stupid. You have some of the best top actors out there right now in your movie, and this is terrible, except when the monsters are on it. The only exception to that being Kaylee Hoddle, the one that plays the little girl from Kong's Island, and she doesn't say a fucking word. She's the best part human in this movie. So there's my opinion. God, it's rough, and yet it's great at the same time. It's actually a lot of fun when the fights are happening. Kong steals the show. He's hilarious and frightening and beautiful and amazing at the same time. Godzilla's Godzilla. He's cool to watch. And when they fight, it's amazing. Overall, I'm going to say stream it just because it's fun and it's entertaining. But please don't go in expecting something life-changing other than watching these guys fight. Just if it wasn't only 25 minutes of the movie, I'd tell you to just fast forward anytime the humans are talking and just watch the monsters, because that part of the movie to me is just ugh. So for me, I'll watch it or stream it, but man, it was close. Ian, why don't you go?
So hearing what you said, JJ, I feel very validated because I was expecting to have to come on here and justify my dislike for almost every single character in this movie except for Godzilla and Kong. And what was the little girl's name? Gia?
Oh God, I gotta look. Yeah, Gia, I think.
And then Bernie kind of made me laugh a bit, so I kind of gave him a plus because I enjoyed watching Bernie
Bernie had his
once
moments.
in a while.
And yes, it was Gia.
Yeah, I was coming in to this movie totally expecting to be not impressed. Skip it. I didn't have any hopes for this movie, but I actually really enjoyed watching these two alpha monsters go head to head. And I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did, because it's like Pacific Rim, some of those other ones, they're not ones that are go-to movies for me, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of the battle scenes and the creativity of where some of the fights happen, I think was interesting too. and this kind of side world. I won't say any more than that, but I thought that was very interesting and kind of entertaining to learn about. Kind of fun stuff. So I'm gonna say stream it. Wait till it's free, or if you can watch it on HBO Max, and give it a watch when you don't really have much else.
Yeah. All right, Javier, round out our spoiler-free review here.
Okay. Guys, this movie was a lot of fun. Like, you know the last part of Jurassic World where the T-Rex is battling the Indominus Rex?
Yeah.
You know, and the feelings it got where you're just like, yeah, bite him in the neck, get him. I felt that for like 2 hours, right? Where I'm like, yeah, give him the chair, right? Like the whole time I'm just like, fuck that lizard up. Which actually, to diverge for a second, were you guys rooting for Kong? Like before going into this movie, were you rooting for Kong or Godzilla?
I was kind of more Godzilla, but because I always thought Kong wasn't ever a monster that was super interesting to me, because it was like, it's a big giant gorilla, like whoop-de-doo.
Not creative enough.
But no, like the personality that they gave him, and like having his story kind of take some interesting turns that I wasn't expecting, I ended up liking him a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
So did you ever see Kong Skull Island, Ian?
I think I saw bits and pieces, but I wasn't, like I said, monster movies aren't high on my priority list. So
that movie's so bad for such a good
Skull
cast.
Island.
It is so bad.
It's just, it fits the bill. I mean, we'll talk about that a lot.
The only thing worse than that is that Kong movie with Jack Black.
Oh, God. Yeah, the original King Kong, or the remake of King Kong by Peter Jackson.
Bad.
The 3-hour abomination. It's terrible.
Not worth the time, like too long and stuff. Anyways, yeah. Wait, JJ, what were you? Godzilla? Team Godzilla? Team
so
Kong.
For me, I was probably here's my thing is I knew that they weren't going to have them actually. Well, I won't say that yet because that's too many spoilers. Yeah. But I think for me, I was leaning towards Kong surprisingly because I like Godzilla a lot, especially these new remake versions. They did that one in 1996 or something that was just horse shit because it wasn't Godzilla. It was like a mutated T-Rex from Jurassic Park. It was terrible. But I really like this Godzilla. So I was surprised, but I did like Kong Skull Island. Again, it was one of those things where you're right. The movie itself and the characters were terrible, but Kong was lovable in that too. So I had this relationship of Kong, and I was like, this is really cool. It's just an older version of that Kong. So I think for me, that was what I was looking forward to, was seeing how they played that Kong. So I was Team Kong.
I didn't realize that I was going into it Team Kong until I watched a trailer with my brother the day before we went and watched it. And in the trailer, they're on the boat, and Kong right crosses Godzilla right across the face. And I was like, yes! Anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So I have to ask you, though, Javier, because I saw it. I know I watched it from the comfort of my couch on HBO Max because I'm vaccinated, but I'm not quite fully inoculated yet, according to the statistics. So I can start going to movie theaters and stuff comfortably, feeling good next week. How was it in the theater?
Dude, it was awesome, right? Like hearing them roaring at each other through movie theater speakers. It was awesome. It was one of my friends, I told him I was going to go see it in theaters, and he sarcastically was like, oh yeah, that seems like the type of movie you definitely need to have the movie theater experience for. You do. You guys, like, it's awesome. In fact, my brother and I went and watched it, and we have a nephew who lives like really close to us, but he couldn't go because he worked. I actually might go back and watch it in theaters again with my nephew because I had that much fun.
You let me know after, like, starting next week, and I'd probably go with you because you've been to my house. I have a pretty decent sound system.
Yeah.
And it sounded great at my house, but I was like, oh, I want to hear this in a theater.
No, it's awesome. I don't have anything to compare it to because I haven't seen it at home, but woo, like it did not disappoint in theater.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put worth it. Actually, I think
Okay.
you should. Like, if you can make it to a movie theater, like if you're comfortable with that, like I think you should, spend a little money, make the trip out there because it was a lot. It was a lot of fun to watch. I will agree with you guys though. Like, I didn't have a problem with the acting. I thought the acting was fine.
Sure.
But like the storyline, like it seemed like Godzilla had his own agenda, right?
Yeah.
And then Kong was just like along for the ride because it kept like getting dragged around places. And then like the humans were just doing stuff. And I'm like, I could use a lot less humans doing stuff and a lot more Godzilla ripping a city in half. So,
Yeah. Well, and I think to even take it a step further, like I don't mind the story, and I'll talk about that a lot in the deep dive. I think the story, the overall bones of the story interests the shit out of me because of the way that it lays out, because it's this continuing story over now 4 movies. The problem that I have is the dialogue was like watching 6-year-olds in adult bodies have conversations. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
yes.
And then there was like so many random plot holes that we'll talk about in the deep dive too. Like,
yes.
So many things that either were giant plot holes or even worse. I can deal with plot holes in monster movies because we're talking about a giant lizard and a giant gorilla, but I can't deal with the unbelievable amounts of circumstances, like coincidences, that you're like, no, that doesn't. Like, for example, and I'll just throw this one out there because it's not really much of a spoiler. The fact that Millie Bobby Brown's character and her dad accidentally end up in the same town and then in the same row of people I'm like, no way.
That's exactly what I said.
Fucking way. And I was so mad about it.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I was
and
like,
that's the least egregious one.
Yeah. I have a big issue with the technology in this movie.
That's another one I want to talk about too.
Yeah.
When we get into the deep dive.
I say we jump into the deep dive because I think we went through it because there's a lot to like and there's a lot to hate in this movie.
So for everyone, you can tell that we're going to have a lot to talk about in the deep dive. So come join us on the 5th. Listen to that wherever you listen to podcasts. You can listen to it at our website, whatsourverdict.com. You can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Ghana, anywhere, everywhere. Go do that and then join us because it's going to be fun. We have a lot to talk about. We appreciate you tuning in for the spoiler-free. Hope it helps you. I really take what Javier said to heart. I really want to see it in theaters because I wondered if that would change me from stream it to worth it.
Dude, let's go next week.
Let's figure it out. I'm down. I'm in. We'll do it.
All right, with that. In on that because I ended up watching it from my phone screen and I know I missed a lot of the experience.
Oh yeah, we got to take you in because because that does not do this movie
and
justice at all.
I snuck candy in like I was a 14-year-old that couldn't afford candy. It was awesome.
That shit's expensive at a movie.
It is. Honestly, at this point, it's just kind of a tradition for me.
Fair enough. All right. With that being said, guys, we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye now.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!